Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Today, I want to discuss the 12 major red flags expats choose to ignore when it comes to Filipinas. In the Philippines, countless expats have fallen in love not only with the islands, but also in lust with the women who live there. Filipino women are frequently commended for their nurturing, loyalty, and family oriented nature. But like any other relationship situation, especially one that is impacted by stark cultural differences, economic gaps, and often the idealization of romance, there are red flags that many expats intentionally overlook. Stay tuned. Number one, excessive focus on financial security on day one. Early on in the relationship, some Filipinas may demonstrate their dependence on you for financial support. Whether it involves family emergencies, school fees, or vague investments, discussions about money often arise before a strong emotional connection has developed. When a Filipino shares her financial concerns with an expat, many of them are looking for help and sympathy. This can lead to a rescuer complex, where the man believes that by being generous, he can win her affection and improve her life. This will bring about a transactional relationship in which finances replace emotional compatibility. And this kind of relationship, if it continues, may end as soon as financial support stops. Even worse, some Filipinas may have multiple sponsors or exit strategies in case their current partner wises up and disappears. Number two, overuse of social media and an obsession with appearance. A Filipino obsessed with selfies, TikTok dances, followers, and filters may be more concerned with online validation than with real world intimacy or connection. Some guys find it cute, or a component of her allure as a young woman. Others believe she is just being trendy and modern, or that it's harmless. Overusing social media might indicate attention seeking, narcissism, or a covert plan to win over more fans. Social media is sometimes used to message someone secretly, sometimes even other foreigners, while at the same time maintaining a public relationship. Number three, the paradox of the instant wife. One of the most notable red flags is the instant wife phenomenon, where relationships progress unusually fast, often to the point of feeling like an immediate marriage. A cultural idea known as utang na luhub, or obligation of gratitude, frequently drive this phenomenon. In Filipino culture, there is a strong sense of duty to return favors and support, including financial assistance or opportunities, and this commitment can even extend into personal relationships. Instead of feeling a true emotional connection, a Filipino may feel pressured to commit to an expat right away out of gratitude in these circumstances. This can lead to complex power dynamics where she may struggle to set boundaries or express discomfort about the pace of the relationship. Utang na luhub is a core cultural value that promotes respect and support for one another. Still, it also runs the risk of establishing relationships based more on duty rather than love. What an expat should do is first, run for the hills, and next, look for a Filipino who can think for themselves and not be controlled by everything in their culture. Number four, family involvement too early in a relationship. A Filipino who immediately introduces you to her whole family right away, starts talking about future financial contributions, or she might assume you will assist her family members from now on. This is a major red flag. Many expats may believe that this is normal, because after all, Filipinos are family oriented. While this is true, they are overlooking how this odd behavior could manifest itself into other areas of the relationship with the Filipina. What other strange things must you look forward to in the future? That's the question you need to ask yourself. There's a distinction between strategic integration into a support system and actual bonding. If the relationship becomes less about you and her and more about you and her extended family's welfare, your role has shifted from partner to provider. You can therefore expect to experience manipulation, guilt tripping, or ongoing pressure to provide more money. Number five, controlling behavior and frequent jealousy. If your Filipino is excessively jealous, possessive, checks your phone all the time, or makes false accusations or tampo you if she sees you talking to other girls, some may rationalize this behavior as part of the culture, saying that possessiveness towards one's partner is typical in various Filipino communities. What they fail to understand is These characteristics have the potential to develop into poisonous control, mistrust, or emotional manipulation. It could also be a projection, where she is excessively watching your interactions with women while concealing her own inappropriate ones. Expats sometimes spot specific behavioral patterns that indicate red flags, which they overlook because they believe their Filipina is hot. These red flags may include a Filipina who is eager to move quickly into serious commitments, such as cohabitation or marriage without adequate time to build trust and understanding of each other's values and personalities. Russia may also indicate covert intentions, such as financial security, immigration aspirations, or a desire to entice a man into commitment before he realizes what's happening. This haste could also mean she is trying to lock you down before you seek another Filipina for whatever reason, and in turn, lose out on all the advantages of having an expat. Conversely, she may be overly focused on your financial status rather than on your character. For some Filipina, whether your character is good or bad is irrelevant in the beginning, as long as you can provide for whatever she needs. This kind of paradigm brings about bad judgment. Number six, fast track relationships. There are those expats who wish to get married right away, move in together, or start a family within a few days or weeks of dating their Filipina. When a young, attractive Filipina expresses a desire to marry them, it flatters many older or lonely expats to the point they lose their senses. It's like being in a fantasy world. They don't realize real connections take time to form. It is possible that this rush might be contributed to them being single for a while and have lost the ability to understand genuine relationship dynamics with the opposite sex. Number seven, disappearing acts and hot and cold behavior. She disappears from calls and texts for days at a time, then returns with an emotional justification or a financial necessity. This is frequently interpreted by men as drama or a misunderstanding. Some people assume it has to do with shyness or bad internet service. This inconsistency may be a manipulation tactic. She may be juggling other men, testing how far she can push boundaries, or conditioning you to become more emotionally invested in her when she returns. Number eight, playing the victim card too often. If your Filipina has a persistent story of being mistreated by exes, relatives, friends, or bosses, or even the entire world, claiming that the good one in her life is you, that's a red flag. I know most expats prefer to be your knight in shining armor in need, the one who rescued her from a bad situation. But with the wrong Filipina, it could be detrimental to your health, not to mention your time and wallet. Compassion and empathy are strong unifying factors, but being a victim, especially for a long period of time, might be your manipulative tactic. It creates a dependency relationship in which you are constantly the one to save her, and in turn deflects blame from her own wrongdoings. Number nine, lacking respect for your boundaries. Whether it's about money, sex, your time, or your past, she doesn't take no very well, particularly at the beginning of the relationship. Some expats believe that giving in to their Filipinas' demand may help avoid drama. In this particular case, setting boundaries that she will not cross is essential for her to respect you. But on the other hand, if disrespect is what you want from your woman, one way to increase the chance of that happening is by giving in to whatever she wants. Not only would she continually disrespect you, her family might join in as well. Number 10, a history of foreign boyfriends or husbands. Another important red flag I believe all expats should look out for is if she has a string of past relationships exclusively with expats. This could potentially mean deception, meaning you are only around so she can extract resources from you. Knowing some expats, they might probably assume that her previous relationships didn't work out because the previous expats were just assholes. If she reveals that she dated other expats prior to you need to ask her why each relationship ended poorly. Of course, she might make something up to stop you from questioning her further. Or it could imply that she is repeating poisonous patterns in each relationship, like pursuing a fantasy lifestyle those prior expats are unwilling to give her. Number 11, love bombing. Too much too soon. Clinginess, constant communications, excessive tenderness, and quick vows of love. Believe it or not, some expats overlook this red flag. Instead, they become flattered by their behavior. I understand that it is intoxicating to receive this kind of attention after years of feeling unappreciated, are, for some, ignored by Western women. Keep in mind that one well known strategy employed by manipulators to establish emotional dependency is by turning to controlling behavior by love bombing. Number 12, frequently bringing up expat chat communities or friends' advice. Be on the lookout for those Filipinas who reference advice or stories from friends who are dating expats or are active in online dating sites that discuss how to manage foreign boyfriends. If caught, they could play it off as frivolous girl talk or laugh it off, which could only mean she's being taught to use manipulative tactics to control the relationship with expats. For some expats, after years of loneliness, divorce, or the loss of a spouse, they travel to the Philippines in search of a companion. Men who felt invisible in the West, receiving little to no attention from young attractive women because they are perceived as boring or a geek. I think it's because what is considered a high value man in the West for most Western females is not the same as what some Filipinas consider to be a high value man in the Philippines. Because of this, some men ignore red flags based on the justification that they are in a developing country with cultural differences and that the Filipinas may not be as effective as the women in the West. Some expats often believe that the first Filipina they are talking to is different somehow, even when multiple past experiences suggest otherwise. Time and mortality push them to rush into lust without due diligence. You see, in the Philippines, expats run the risk of experiencing emotional anguish, financial loss, and grief if they ignore red flags from the Filipinas they choose to deal with. Even the most lucid minds can become clouded by desire, loneliness, and fantasy, even when the red flags are obvious. Being cautious is a sign of intelligence, not cynicism. Trust must be earned rather than granted blindly. A person's motive and character will become more apparent the more time you invest in getting to know them. Therefore, if you are an expat living in the Philippines, trust your instincts. Red flags are warning signs, not decorations. Pay attention to them. Alright, guys, that is all for today's show. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a good day.